The Alto Knights. This might be. I'm interested to see what you thought of this. But let me give a little bit of a backstory. The Alto Knights is a movie by Barry Levinson about the mob, the early days of the mob. Vito Genovese and Frank Costello were both friends that came up in the mob under Lucky Luciano back in New York, way back in like the 20s, turn of the century 20s. They were kids that were just completely in it. As they grew through the ranks, Frank and Vito were best friends and cared about each other, always had each other's backs. And Robert De Niro plays both Vito and Frank in this movie, but he plays them very different. I think the biggest thing that takes away from this movie for me is that it would have been really interesting to see Robert De Niro play off of another great act, like he did in Heat with Al Pacino and others. There's a lot of great older actors that I think they could have put against each other, like where Robert De Niro could have played against somebody like a Harvey Keitel or somebody like that. Even a Joe Pesci. I know Joe Pesci's a little more retired right now, but somebody like him with that gravitas that brings it to Mafia movies. As far as Mafia movies go, they've been misses for a long. I think they're either a little underdone, in my opinion, because they can't get the big budget for like the intense action in some of these Mafia movies, or they're overdone with that action and they take a lot of the heart out. And this has some good action towards it. You get some good Mafia action, but I liked it. It was a character study of these two mob bosses that had very different styles and wound up becoming rivals in the end. And I liked that. They played it really well. Every character in it was pretty good. And this was a good Mafia movie, in my opinion, as we've kind of gone on with it. And as we've seen in most recent years. But I did really like this one. I think I would actually check it out again. Now, Paul, you got a chance to see this one, right?
I sure did.
What do you think about it?
So I was kind of impressed by it because, like you said, a lot of the ones recently last couple of years have been just kind of misses for different reasons. This one I appreciated because I like The Godfather. I know, there's so many reasons to like The Godfather, but for me, I like that they didn't. I don't like when Mafia movies take a Robin Hood approach to where they try to make it look like, oh, well, the mob boss is actually doing this for everyone else. Like, be honest. Like, he's doing it for himself. He's selfish. He's killing people. Like, at the end of the day, let's be real about what's going on. Yeah. And I liked how The Godfather, The Godfather glorified more of the family aspect of it, which is a real thing within the mob. And so I like this approach. Like you said, them growing up, you could see how they were together. And then the split was almost, I wouldn't say quite like Obi-Wan, Anakin, but you definitely were like, damn. Like,
I felt like I wanted to cheer for them to like become friends in the end.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. Right.
What's funny about it too. I've actually interviewed him on the show. John O'Halloran, who played Nam in Superman and Superman 2, was on the show. He is the son of Albert Anastasia, who was the mob boss that Vito has killed in the movie. And this is all reality. So he was like the guy that was up in arms and was like one of the heads of the five families that was for Frank and was trying to back up Frank and everything. That was John O'Halloran's dad.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He talks about the story in the interview and stuff and tells old stories about how he would like do enforcement and stuff because he was a big guy. He was a boxer. So interesting though. Very interesting. I thought that was a cool aspect. And as I'm watching this, I'm like, I remember him talking about like this aspect and when his dad got killed and stuff. So I thought the Alto Knights did a pretty good job as far like you said with Mafia movies where they're not trying to sugarcoat it. You're right.
Right.
And that's what this is one where they use a lot of de-aging. I don't know if De Niro is just in it to win it with that, but The Irishman, whereas they use the de-aging, but it was sort of a boring story. This, I think, kind of amps it up a little bit, and I think you'll enjoy it a little bit more. So if you can get past the de-aging. But what's your score for this one?
So I put this at about like probably a 2.5 out of 5, maybe a 3. Probably 3. We'll say 3.
Yeah, for me, I gave it a 3 only because the acting was very well done. And this is some of the better acting I've seen De Niro do lately.
Right.
So like I gave it a 3 out of 5. 2.5 out of 5 is good too, or 3. But yeah, I would say check out Alto Knights when it comes out on streaming. All right. And I think it is. Go check it out.